Holy crap, you guys are not ready for this. Yesterday and this morning may have been one of the most epic news days in all of history. I woke up and it felt like morning in America. Because America just dominated Davos. Greenland deal, done. Al Gore, pissed. Christine Lagarde, pissed. Gavin Newsom, absolutely embarrassed. Board of Peace just got formed. Trade playbook followed to a T. Gold and silver dumped, which is usually a signal that it's Bitcoin's turn. Major bullish Bitcoin warnings from Larry Fink, Brian Armstrong, and the Binance CEO. We got so much to get to today. I finally get a feeling, get a sense of what the orange man was talking about.
You're going to be so proud of your country if I get in. You're going to be so proud of your president, and I don't care about that. But you are going to be so proud of your country because we're going to turn it around and we're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. We're going to win more. We're going to win so much.
We're finally winning. Not bowing, not apologizing. Winning. Oh, and did I mention this little doozy? That's right, baby. We have an absolutely loaded show today. So strap in, fill up your cup with some commie tears, and get that popcorn ready. Oh, yeah.
I think it's very, very ironic that Governor Newsom, who strikes me as Patrick Bateman meets Sparkle Beach Ken, may be the only Californian who knows less about economics than Kamala Harris. He's here this week with his billionaire sugar daddy, Alex Soros, and the Davos is the perfect place for a man who, when everyone else was on lockdown, when he was having people arrested for going to church, he was having $1,000 a night meals at the French Laundry, and I'm sure the California people won't forget that. And I can tell my message to Governor Newsom is the Trump administration is coming to California. We are going to crack down on waste, fraud, and abuse. And I was told he was asked to give a speech on his signature policies, but he's not speaking because what have his economic policies brought? Outward migration from California, a gigantic budget deficit, the largest homeless population in America, and the poor folks in the Palisades who had their homes burned down. He is here hobnobbing with the global elite while his California citizens are still homeless. Shame on him. He is too smug, too self-absorbed, and too economically illiterate to know anything.
Thank you very much.
Let me know if you need any further clarification.
It's just a thing of beauty. You want to watch it over and over. I told you guys many times, Besson is an absolute menace and a weapon, not just an economic weapon. He's a killer. I love this guy. He can cut a at a moment's notice. Also willing to drop a guy if necessary. He's a full-service cabinet secretary. And guess who else absolutely killed it? Kind of a surprise to me, to be honest. Not the biggest fan. But damn it, this guy delivered in Davos. Straight out of Cantor Fitzgerald. We showed you Ledn yesterday. Basically declaring the death of globalism right to their scaly, amphibious faces. I didn't think he had it in him, but he one-upped himself. Look at this, Financial Times exclusive. Howard Ledn was heckled at a World Economic Forum dinner in Davos hosted by BlackRock's Larry Fink, according to people at the event. So I had to look into it. What the hell? Didn't think much, but then I discovered who the heckler was. Al Gore. Heckled Trump's Commerce Secretary at Davos. And here's a little rough transcript I found. Ledn, and this is why the transatlantic economic relationship is undergoing a fundamental bow. Sorry. Please quiet down, I was speaking. I said boo! It's a colloquial way to show disapproval. Boo! I'm Al Gore. Hold on, is that Al Gore? F*** you, Howard. Al, come on, you're embarrassing yourself. you. All right, who gave the former vice president a second glass of Chardonnay? Hilarious. It's so beautiful. But wait, there's more. The European Central Bank president, Christine Lagarde, walked out of a World Economic Forum dinner after Ledn delivered a speech. I guess he was pretty critical of Europe. It's kind of easy to do and be that way these days. I mean, it's kind of like the Soviet Union over there. And Reuters reported this. Lagarde left the event on Tuesday night as Ledn's remarks intensified and drew heckling from a drunk Al Gore. After her exit, the host called off dinner before dessert was served. We're bringing down the house, baby. Hold on a minute. I think it's the pleat in the pants. I gotta go walk this off. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. We're good. Back to business. But before we get into the monumental historical moves POTUS just made, give me some Hulkster. R.I.P. Hulkster, you animal. Now let's start at the beginning and run down what the hell just happened. Also, get out those notepads and get ready to take some notes because it's pretty freaking extensive. Donald Trump shocks the world in Davos. They have no answer for it. The dude had to switch planes due to an alleged electrical issue with Air Force One, had his international flight, gets right off the plane, immediately delivers a masterclass speech that goes over an hour. Then straight into press conferences, then meetings with world leaders, and he didn't stop or let up. No teleprompter naps, no hiding, no low energy schedule padded with rest days. The dude's got stamina. This is command. This is what leadership on a world stage looks like. While the status meltdown behind closed doors, Trump is outworking every single one of them in real time. The man is a workhorse. Here we go. Yesterday, we showed you Trump reaffirming America as the Bitcoin and crypto capital of the world with the goal to bring, well, financial freedom to America. Remember, his entire family was debanked. He also just told the WEF straight to their gremlin faces that he banned banks and institutions from buying single-family homes. And America will never be a debt slave nation of renters. Did you catch that? That was his flip on own nothing and be happy. Well, GFY, WEF, roll it.
But homes are built for people, not for corporations, and America will not become a nation of renters. We're not going to do that. That's why I have signed an executive order banning large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It's just not fair to the public. They're not able to buy a house. And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law, and I think they will. One of the biggest barriers to saving for a down payment has been surging credit card debt. The profit margin for credit card companies now exceeds 50%, one of the biggest. And they charge Americans interest rates of 28%, 30%, 31%, 32%. Whatever happened to usury? So to help our citizens recover from the Biden disaster, all caused by this horrible president, just horrible president, I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year. And this will help millions of Americans save.
The Orange Man also called them stupid to their faces. Quote, China is smart. They make windmills, sell them for a fortune, and sell them to stupid people that buy them. You have lots of wind farms. China has none.
Windmills all over Europe. There are windmills all over the place, and they are losers. One thing I've is that the more windmills a country has, the more money that country loses, and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all of the windmills, and yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make them, they sell them for a fortune. They sell them to the stupid people that buy them, but they don't use them themselves. They put up a couple of big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin. They don't do anything. They use a thing called coal, mostly. But China goes with the coal. They go with oil and gas. They're starting to look at nuclear.
Now, after the speech is where everything kind of accelerated. Let's start right here. A reporter tried to corner Trump on the Danish foreign minister rejecting the offer for Greenland, and Trump fired back. If he wants to tell me that, he can tell it to my face.
This is not something that they are willing to discuss. So what will those negotiations
Well, they
look
didn't
like?
tell me that, so when they tell me, because I don't like getting it secondhand. If he wants to tell me, he'll tell me that to my face.
And when will you be discussing this?
I have no idea.
When you said you
I'll
were,
be discussing it with this man right here.
Mr. President,
He's frankly more important.
Mr. President, when you
Mic drop, and Bessent added fuel to the fire when U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was asked how concerned he is about European investors pulling out of treasuries. Bessent said at a press conference at the WEF, Denmark's investment in U.S. Treasury bonds, like Denmark itself, is irrelevant. And then it happened.
Well, we have a concept of a deal. I think it's going to be a very good deal for the United States, also for them. And we're going to work together on something having to do with the Arctic as a whole, but also Greenland. And it has to do with the security, great security, strong security, and other things.
The market, 600 points, getting back a lot of some of the nervousness we had in the last couple of days. The tariffs are off. Nothing happens on February 1st.
No, we took that off because it looks like we have pretty much a concept of a deal.
A deal of ownership, a deal...
Well, it's a little bit complex, but we'll explain it down the line. But the Secretary General of NATO and I and some other people were talking, and it's the kind of a deal that I wanted to be able to make.
Where does Denmark, did they weigh in on what they want, what they would agree to?
Well, I assume they did because he very much represents, he's a strong leader. Mark, you know Mark, Rutte. And he, I assume he's been speaking to them. He's been speaking to all of them.
Are mineral rights involved? Is ownership involved? Did the Golden Dome sway people?
I don't want to say yet, but...
The Golden Dome was very compelling today when you talked about that.
Yeah, the Golden Dome, and they're going to be involved in the Golden Dome. And they're going to be involved in mineral rights, and so are we.
It's not specific enough to know at this point how long this lasts, whether it's...
Forever.
Forever.
It'll be forever.
For Greenland at this point.
Yeah. Forever.
That's staggering.
That's better than a 99-year-old.
This is what, 2 hours after.
It's better than the Obama deal with the famous Iran nuclear deal with a 9-year deal. No, this is forever. This is a long term.
Trump reaches framework for a Greenland and entire Arctic region deal with NATO Secretary General Rutte. The markets ripped before he even finished saying Greenland. Side note, apparently Trump thought Greenland was green, so Rubio is now on ice thawing duty for the Orange Man. What a guy. Oh, and America and Bitcoin winning did not stop there. Oh no, 2 more massive achievements were accomplished by the Orange Man by the end of the day, and 3 bullish warnings were made regarding Bitcoin. We're about to bring it home today. You don't want to miss this. But before we do, look at our likes.
3 or 4 times, maybe.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Let's take a moment to recognize our sponsors powering this show over at the Bitcoin Way. At the Bitcoin Way, they'll walk you through all things Bitcoin, like it's kindergarten with Satoshi. From setting up your first wallet to running your first node and so much more. No tech skills needed. The Bitcoin Way has got you covered. You want $1 million Bitcoin? Better act like it. Self-custody is not optional. That is the revolution. Schedule a free 30-minute consultation with the Bitcoin Way today using that link in the show notes. Today's show is brought to you by Ledn. If you ever need cash without selling your Bitcoin, Ledn makes that possible. The global leader in Bitcoin-backed lending, Ledn has issued over $9 billion in loans since 2018. And they have a perfect record of protecting client assets. No credit checks, funds in less than 6 hours, no monthly payments, repay whenever you want with 0 penalties, and proof of reserves reports, verified by a top accounting firm, are published every 6 months. Ledn gives Bitcoin holders a secure, transparent way to unlock liquidity without selling. Learn more at learn.ledn.io/simply. That's learn.ledn.io/simply.
Congratulations, President Trump. The charter is now in full force, and the Board of Peace is now an official international organization.
That's right, the Board of Peace has just begun, and it's a complete retaliation and an answer to the WEF/UN.
Numerous other things. Once this board is completely formed, we can do pretty much whatever we want to do, and we'll do it in conjunction with the United Nations. You know, I've always said the United Nations has got tremendous potential, has not used it. But there's tremendous potential in the United Nations, and you have some great people at the United Nations. But so far it hasn't. You know, on the 8 wars that I ended, I never spoke to the United Nations about any of them. And you would think that I should have. You would think they could have done those 8 wars, but they couldn't have. And they tried, I guess, in some of them, but they didn't try hard enough. But there's tremendous potential with the United Nations, and I think the combination of the Board of Peace with the kind of people we have here, coupled with the United Nations, can be, you know, something very, very...
Now, before the warnings issued by Uncle Larry, the Binance CEO, and Brian Armstrong, there's another win that took place yesterday, and this one holds a very special place in my heart. The USA officially leaves the World Health Organization. And apparently they exited without paying $260 million in owed fees. Apparently law kind of demands it. But if you ask me, don't pay it. They can GFY. And warning from Coinbase CEO, you'll be sad if you don't own at least 5% Bitcoin.
The cool thing about Bitcoin is that it doesn't, unlike fiat currency, there's no money printer, right? So the supply of it is fixed. It's finite. And so as more people integrate crypto and use crypto, there's more demand and finite supply. That only means the price can go up. That's why I said by 2030, I think it could hit $1 million. I mean, if they don't have at least 5% of their net worth in Bitcoin, they're probably going to be pretty sad.
And here we go. Binance CEO tells Davos elites it's now dangerous for nations to ignore Bitcoin.
My view is this, right? So US, by being the largest economy in the world, the deepest capital markets in the world, when US say that I want to be the AI and crypto capital of the world, it is dangerous for others just to ignore these 2 spaces, right? Because these are the space that you have to be competitive going forward to maintain a cutting edge, right? So any countries that don't invest enough into these 2 key technologies, that in my view will drive every economic sector, will likely suffer a competitive disadvantage.
Now this one's a little weird. Let's take a look at this from Uncle Larry, who just said live at Davos that the world will rapidly adopt Bitcoin and crypto.
I think the movement towards tokenization, decimalization is necessary. It's ironic that we see 2 emerging countries leading the world in in the tokenization and digitization of their currency. That's Brazil and India. I think we need to move very rapidly to doing that. We would be reducing fees. We would do more democratization by reducing more fees if we had all investments on a tokenized platform that you could move from a tokenized money market fund to equities and bonds and back and forth. We have one common blockchain. We will, we can reduce corruption. So I would argue that yes, we have more dependencies on maybe one blockchain, which we could all talk about. But that being said, the activities are probably processed and more secure than ever.
Now let's ask the question. Is G-Money right here? Is tokenization coming to Bitcoin whether we like it or not? That's absolutely wild. I want to know what you guys think about this. Was this type of thing inevitable? And of course, it's not finalized or anything like that. We're just going hypothetical here, trying to prognosticate. But settlement of the stock market on Bitcoin or Lightning? Or do you think he's saying more what I'm thinking is stocks tokenized on some bullshit blockchain, probably some centralized garbage, but likely priced and bought and sold with Bitcoin and stablecoins, etc. But at the same time, you got to ask, would something that vital trust anything else but the most secure, verifiable network that ever existed? There is no other truly decentralized way this could take place. Decentralized and verifiable and secure. Anything else they could choose or create will be able to be manipulated. Chain reorganizations, down half the time, etc. I don't know, but let me know what you guys think below. And while you do, get a load of this.
The question is now on the amendment in the nature of a substitute to the William J. Clinton contempt report. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment in the nature of a substitute to the report is agreed to. The question is now on favorably reporting the William J. Clinton contempt report as amended. Members will record their votes using the electronic voting system. The clerk will now open the vote on the William J. Clinton contempt report. Have all members been recorded who wish to be? Okay, we're waiting on one more. Has everybody voted now?
Yes.
Okay. Does any member wish to change their vote? The clerk will close the vote and report the vote total.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 34, the nays are 8, with 2 voting present.
Pursuant to this, the ayes have it. Pursuant to this vote, the committee hereby favorably reports and adopts this report recommending that the House of Representatives find William J. Clinton in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with the subpoena duly issued by this committee. We will move to the report to the full House. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid upon the table.
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to House Rule 9, Clause 2.1, I just ask that members have the requisite 2 days to file with the clerk of the committee supplemental, additional, and minority and dissenting views.
Without objection.
Thank you.
Without objection. The question is now on favorably reporting the Hillary R. Clinton contempt report as amended. Members will record their votes using the electronic voting system. The clerk will now open the vote on the Hillary R. Clinton contempt report. Have all members been recorded who wish to be recorded? Does any member wish to change their vote? Seeing none, the clerk will close the vote and report the vote total.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 28, the nays are 15, with 1 voting present.
The ayes have it. Pursuant to this vote, the committee hereby favorably reports and adopts this report recommending that the House of Representatives find Hillary R. Clinton in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with a subpoena duly issued by this committee. We will move the report to the full House. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
And the possibility of World War III is higher than ever, which is probably a good time to visit our new sponsor, Sat123. Because when cell service dies, life doesn't have to. Sat123 hooks you up with real satellite phones, Starlink kits, and rugged off-grid internet that works anywhere. Mountains, ocean, middle of nowhere, it doesn't matter. If you care about preparedness, freedom, and staying connected when it actually counts, go to sat123.com. That's sat123.com, and don't forget to use promo code SIMPLY for 15% off. No signal? No problem. Now do you see why I told you this was one of the most insane news days in modern history? And in a positive way for freaking America. I haven't felt truly proud to be an American in a long time, but damn it felt like morning in America today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you think below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a pamp. Share the Sound Money Gospel, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, you.